What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with the weekly Destiny 2 content roundup, and things get a little bit livelier today with a new hotfix for the game, but also we have the return of the Iron Banner and a very juicy week for Eververse items. As always though, on top of that, we have the vendor and rewards refresh for April 25th, and so as always we'll cover the new vendor loot, such as Banshee's featured weapons for the week, and we have ADA-1's armor and shaders, as well as key content changes, hotfix updates, bonus ranks, featured Lost Sector exotics, and everything else to know regarding rewards this reset. And so as always guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today, and if you do, be sure to get subscribed for more Destiny content. But otherwise, without further delay, let's get into it. And so initially today, D2 has had a new hotfix. This is 7051. There are just a few fixes in there. So initially for the raid, they fixed a problem where the raid jacket director dialogue was appearing after the March 21st deadline to unlock the purchase. And on top of that, they adjusted brightness and flashing in the Daughters of Oryx encounter. So that second one is a little more useful. Then for UI, they fixed an issue where gauntlets would not equip when changing loadouts, and another one where opening the loadout menu could cause Destiny 2 to crash. But they also say for weapons, they fixed a problem where making changes to a weapon in an inventory after selecting the weapon to reshape would not automatically update the item in the reshape slot, so that's a recent enhancement issue with weapons. And finally, they also fixed an issue where too many particle effects in certain areas on Neptune could cause Destiny 2 to crash. So hopefully that will improve a few of the crashes on Neomuna, but otherwise it is a relatively small hotfix with only a few kind of isolated fixes right there. Although some of them once again are positive, so give us your thoughts about it down below. As we get into gameplay stuff though, of course the Iron Banner does return this week, I believe with Iron Banner Fortress. It's the same event otherwise that we've had for the rest of the season though, so only thing worth bearing in mind is that this is the final Iron Banner for the season, so whether you're working on title stuff or unlocking any of the featured rewards, this will be the final opportunity this week to do it inside of Season 20. Otherwise, over on Neomuna, of course the Vex Incursion Zone has changed location, so it's now featured in Ahimsa Park, and on top of that we have the Partition Ordnance mission available. Additionally on Neomuna though, the No Time Left mission will be featured this week, and of course that has the Pinnacle drop. And as we can see for Root of Nightmares, we've rotated round, and we've got the Illuminated Torment challenge available this week. And then over at Banshee for the featured weapons, we have the Whispering Slab on the front page right here. This has Quick Draw and Sympathetic Arsenal. We do have Judgment of Kelgarath though, with Demolitionist and Incandescent, which is a fun roll on this thing, so maybe one to check out right there. But we've got Cold Denial with Zen Moment Unrelenting, then Farewell with Subsistence and Thresh, which might be a little bit of fun. Also, Class Swords once again. And we've got the Crown Splitter right here for the Titans at least. This one has Tireless Blade and Vorpal Weapon. Then for the second page, we've got the Legal Action with Moving Target and Wellspring, as well as the Lunar Ladder for B Bow, and this has Shoot Dilute Adrenaline Junkie. But there's also the Cantata 57 hand cannon with Eye of the Storm and Opening Shot, so that should be pretty snappy. But then there's the Redback Sidearm. This one's got Stats for All and Surrounded. The Memory Interdict right here has Surplus and Chain Reaction, which will be a fun little roll, not necessarily the absolute best one you could get, but it's alright. And then we've got the Typhon Grenade Launcher with Stats for All and Wellspring featured right here, but of course bear in mind that these rolls will change throughout the week, so if there are any of the weapons currently featured that you want to get better rolls on, definitely check in with Banshee a couple of times throughout the course of the week. Heading down to ADA-1 in the Annex though, of course her loot has been updated, so right here for the armor set, we've got the Devastation Complex set. This is some of the Vanguard stuff from earlier in D2. Of course, be sure to check in on your various characters if you are after stat rolls. Definitely nothing stand out right here for the Titans. But for the featured shaders, which of course do cost 10,000 Glimmer each, we've got the Midnight Exigent shader right here, which I'm surprised is one that I didn't already have in the collection. Could have swore I had that. Then there's also the Kairos Bronze shader from back in Curse of Osiris available this week, as well as the Dead Orbit Vision shader. So a few older shaders right there that perhaps haven't been available for quite some time. Let us know if you plan to pick any of them up. And finally, we do get to the Eververse store, which is a pretty decent inventory overall this week. So initially for 700 Bright Dust, there is the Flamenco Dance emote right here, a legendary one, which is pretty fun. We also have the Calyptra ornament for the Monarch right here for 1250 Bright Dust, which is a pretty cool one as well. Then there is the Shadow Legion entrance Transman effect. And for 300 Bright Dust, as always, the featured front page shaders are the Erebos Glance, but there is also the Circadian Chill shader available this week. Then moving to the main Bright Dust page, we have the Mandel Insistence emote right here for 700 Bright Dust, maybe a fun one to pick up. We also have helmets for the Eververse armor set for the season available this week, and these are 1200 Bright Dust each. And then a bunch of exotic items. So we have the Synthal exotic ship available right here, and that one's 2000 Bright Dust. For 2500 Bright Dust though, there is the Vice Cruiser, a very oversized Sparrow right there on my screen. And we get a bunch of ornaments right here for different exotic armor pieces. So the Titan this week gets one for the Lorelei Splendor Helm, which is certainly a pretty cool looking one right there, and these are 1500 Bright Dust each. On top of that though, Hunters get the Acolyte's Ambition ornament for Wormhusk Crown this week, once again another pretty cool one. And finally for Warlocks, there is the Phoenix Renaissance, which is an ornament for the Dawn Chorus. So some pretty cool ones there, let us know what you plan to pick up. For 1250 Bright Dust though, we can get the Calefactor ornament right here for Forerunner, which of course is a Black Armory themed ornament, which is really cool. So certainly one I plan to pick up, let us know what you think down below. Then there is the Aramis projection right here, a Legendary Ghost projection for 1500 Bright Dust. And for the other featured shaders, this week we've got Calco's Finery available right here. Plus there's the Coastal Suede shader available this week. And as we can see, we get access to Polished Sea Stone as well. But finally for shaders, there is additionally Golden Age Wine available. The last few items for Eververse Bright Dust though include the Vex Invasion Effects Transmat effect. These are 450 Bright Dust each. There is additionally the Heartbreaking entrance, and very finally the Ghost Purple Transmat effect. So let us know which items from Eververse you plan to pick up this week. Our final couple of items for the video right here though include the Nightfall and the weapon for the week. And so the featured Nightfall for this week is the Hypernet Current Strike, of course the new one for Neomuna, and on top of that of course GMs are now live, plus this week in particular we get bonus Vanguard ranks, so it's a pretty good time to grind for that stuff if you want to. But in terms of the featured weapon for this week, we'll see the Wendigo Grenade Launcher, of course the very popular Adaptive Frame Arc Launcher. And looking at the top traits, in the first trait slot we can roll Autoloading Holster, as well as Chain Reaction, Clown Cartridge, and then you can get Field Prep, Impulse Amplifier, or Steady Hands. And looking right there, rightly so, the most popular bonuses in that left column are Autoloading Holster initially, but also Chain Reaction or Clown Cartridge are really good options. Then the second slot is able to roll Explosive Light, as well as Full Court, Frenzy, Cascade Point, Rangefinder, or Golden Tricorn. So Autoloading Holster and Explosive Light is without a doubt the most popular role. Explosive Light generally is the most sought after bonus on the weapon, so even if you pair Field Prep or Clown Cartridge with that, you've got a pretty solid weapon. But there are other pairings of course, Chain Reaction and Frenzy, or Chain Full Court are also very popular. So let us know your top roll of the weapon, the one you enjoy using the most, or if you're still going after a god roll on this thing, let us know down in the comments section. Very finally for the video though, of course we also have the featured Lost Sectors, so for today we've got the Hydroponics Delta dropping exotic chess pieces. But tomorrow, April 26th, will be Gilded Precept, dropping exotic helmets. Then we get Excavation Site dropping exotic legs on April 27th. And that's followed by Skydock dropping gauntlets on April 28th. But for April 29th, we'll see the Quarry dropping exotic chest pieces. April 30th will be helmets from Aphelion's Rest. And finally, we'll get Chamber of Starlight on May 1st, and that'll be dropping exotic legs. And so that should be useful for some still hunting down exotic armor, or indeed better rolls. And for today guys, I think that rounds up everything related to the vendor refresh in the game. So as always, I hope the video has been useful today, and if it has, a rating below really does help us out on the channel. Also feel free to get subscribed and I'll keep you posted with everything related to the game. But otherwise, as always, thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you have an awesome day.